Welcome. We are on episode 9.
Oh yeah, episode 9. It's going by quick. Yeah, episode 10. Yeah, so yeah, it's Sunday. How you feeling today, Faith?
I'm feeling good. I'm hungry. But we feeling good. We blessed.
Right.
We blessed. What about you?
I agree. I'm feeling real happy. Can't complain.
Yes, y'all. Natalie, before we started recording, I was like, she looked really, really cute. She always look cute, but this is something different for her. She got her little her sweater on and her little slippers. They real cute, y'all. If only y'all could check out.
I look really business casual today. I don't know. It was like comfortable for me, but I guess it's a little dressy. But it's alright.
It look good.
We'll rock out.
Dressy and comfy.
All right, y'all. So today we're going to talk about triggers
and intuition
and your gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I actually chose this topic because I never really I think I just started getting into tune with like my gut feeling and my intuition and stuff like that. Because I never was like, people was like, trust your gut at one point in my life, and I'm like, I don't know about you, but I'm a person that be at war with my mind and my heart. I'll be like, okay, I get these gut feelings, and I just be like, okay. Like,
you don't know which one to listen to.
Yes, you don't. And I just be like, at one point I'm just like, okay, is this a gut feeling? I didn't know exactly what a gut feeling was, and I didn't actually know how to be like so in tune with my intuition and stuff like that. So I think this would be a good topic just for anybody that, you know, like if you get a feeling or if something arises and you're kind of like, well, I don't know like why I'm feeling this way or whatever, then I just feel like I'm very spiritual, so I be feeling like, yeah, that's God. That's God trying to tell me something, or that's like, you know, like my angels trying to tell me or warn me of something. So, do you want to tell the people what a gut feeling is? If you don't know, we're about to tell you.
A gut feeling?
Yeah.
Some you feel in your gut,
like
you literally feel it in your gut. That's where the gut feeling comes from, and you know, a lot of the times your gut feeling is true. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, and not even just with relationships, it could just be with like anything, you know, with your job, or because say for example, we're in July. So last year I was with a different brokerage, and towards the end of the year, like the last few months, I was like getting this feeling like I just wanted, like I just had this urge, and something was just telling me like, you need to try another brokerage. And if y'all don't know what a brokerage is, it's a company that you work for when you are a realtor, whether it be your own company or, you know, a Ladder and Bloom or a Keller Williams, just to put it in, you know, simpler terms. So at that time I was working for Ladder and Bloom, and I just had this gut feeling like it's time for you to try something new. It's time for you to try something new. And at the time, you know, I was talking to my team leader that I'm working with now, and he was telling me about the brokerage that I'm with now. And he was talking to me about it, and the gut feeling like at the end of the year, because he'd been talking about it with me for like a year or so. But at the end of the year, I was just like, I need something different. And that's when, you know, I went with that gut feeling. And in January of this year, I switched over to that other brokerage. So, and I really liked it. So, just basically trusting and making your move. That's really all it's about. Like if you have that gut feeling, you need to make a move. You can't sit on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have it.
So let me ask you a question, okay? Since that's the example, let me ask you a question. So when you were at this last brokerage, like, was it like a feeling where you were going into work and you weren't really happy, opposed to like now with your new brokerage? Was there a feeling of like, I just don't really like click with the people here, opposed to like, did you have any of those feelings? Or like, you know how some workplaces it's just like you go in, it's like, yeah, it's so negative here, and you just start to feel like out of place and, you know, like I need something new or whatever. Were any of those factors a case in your...
And that's the thing, they weren't.
They weren't?
Mm-mm. I really liked the people.
Right, see, and that's crazy.
I really did.
That's crazy.
I really did.
That's crazy because usually, you know, you get these like I'm not really happy going here, or like I don't really click with these people. So that's crazy.
I really liked it. The people were cool. They were willing to help. It's just I need something different. That's really all it was. It wasn't a negative space. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like,
it was time for something new.
Yeah, it was just time for something new. You know?
Well, I applaud you on that, because how long had you been at that brokerage?
I've been there since I started. So a little over a year.
And how long were you there before you decided to leave?
What do you mean?
You said you went to a new brokerage. Well, you had 2 brokerages. Do you want that first one?
That first one I was there since I started.
Okay, so how long was that?
Probably like a year and 2 months.
And you know what's crazy? I feel like you get comfortable in places, and I say this a lot. You start to get comfortable in places, and you limit yourself to what you can do, and you get those you start to get those gut feelings like, well, this kind of getting old, or I need a little spark, or I need something to like spice up my life. And you ignore it because you're just like, okay, well, I've been here for a year, and I've seen it time and time again, because at my job, I've been there 2 years, and I'm probably like one of the youngest ones that working there, and everybody's like older than me.
Same. That's how it was for me. All older people. I'm like the only young one.
Really? Yeah. Yes. They're like years in.
Years. Yeah. They like in double digits.
Yeah. So
they in double digits.
Same at my job, and like I be kind of feeling a little. I say it in a nice way, but I be like, this not the end goal for me. And I say it around them because I'm so young, and I don't want to limit myself to one company or to one thing just because. And I think, you know, that's our new generation now. We don't limit ourselves, and we do trust our gut a little bit more, and we take those leaps of faith and stuff like that, because it's just like beforehand. Like our parents were taught, okay, you stay loyal to this job. They got a retirement plan. They got 401k and all this other stuff. And where opposed to us, people is quitting jobs. They going with that. You going with your gut. You're quitting that job that same day. You like, I ain't doing this. I ain't dealing with this. So it's just like, I think the new generation is more like. How should I say it? They trust their gut a little bit more than opposed to our parents and people that are, you know, older than us. Yeah,
because I feel like the older people, not everybody, but a lot of older people, the older they get, that's more stuck in their ways that they get.
Right. No.
And it's like, you know, older people, they have children, they have a family, they have all of these things. So it's like, they can't take as many risks or just quit a job because they have a family to support. So it's like, you know, if they do want to switch, okay, well, I got to stay on this job until I find another one. On the other side, we like, y'all ain't giving me what I want.
Bye.
I quit.
I stood my way. That's really how. And I kind of applaud our generation for that, because if you're not happy, if you're not doing that, like I've known friends to be like, I just quit. Today my last day. I'm about to quit. And you know, you just kind of like.
But at the same time,
and it's a bad thing.
I was just about to say that it's a bad thing too, because
you want those references. You definitely want those references. I understand, like some jobs they can just be so negative, and that's where it goes back to. That's why I asked you, did you have any of those factors? Because then you start to get these gut feelings of like, this place is so negative. This place, you know, like. The energy isn't just right or whatever, because energy in workplaces is definitely a thing. And so you get these gut feelings and stuff like that, and you're trying to trust your intuition, but then you go out and you quit this job, and then when you try to get a new job, they asking for references, and you don't have any because you just quit this job on the spot.
Right, and you didn't go about it the right way. You didn't put your two weeks in, or you didn't do the proper procedure. You just, you know, quit, or you just stop showing up, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that can be bad also, because it's just like, you don't want to be known for doing that. And it's just like, you know, we are young, but we still need to do things properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you may not have a family, but you do still have bills.
Right.
The majority of us still have bills. So it's like, now you quit your job, you didn't save nothing. You don't have nothing to prepare you for the, you know, next few months of bills to come. So it's like, you doing that off of emotion. Like, have a plan.
Right.
Have a plan of how you're going to go about that.
I completely agree. Because we do, our generation does just up and quit a job and be like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. And then when you trying to apply for this new job, they asking for references and stuff like that, or where did you work last? And then, you know, some of these jobs actually do call, and they like, all right, well, how was this person as an employee and stuff like that? And then you're just like, they're like, oh yeah, they quit, they walked out,
or they just never came back. Like, you gotta do better, y'all.
So I actually do have a example for like my gut feeling, and I'm gonna talk about how it kind of like triggers me now, because I feel like a lot of our gut feelings and intuition, they do lead to triggers. So story time, y'all. Story time. All right, this was like years ago. So I lost like a really close friend to me. His name was Zach, and I lost him unexpectedly at a party, and I
was there.
You were there, okay?
Yes. So I was outside when it was happening.
You'll be able to relate to me on this.
Yeah.
So okay, so I go to this party, right? I go to this party with my best friend Bianca. And so, like, everybody in the city is going to this party. Yes. If you're watching this, you remember this party specifically. Because it was so, like, everybody's going. So, I remember, like, we getting dressed that night, whatever. I'm like, I texted him. I'm like, okay, I'm going, you know, I'll see you later. Da-da-da. Are you going to the party? Whatever. Because we were real close. This wasn't my best friend, but we were really, really close. Like, talked every week, talked almost every day. We hung out. We went to the movies together, went out to eat. So we go to this party, I remember, and I remember it being so hot inside.
Bruh, yes.
It was
so my God.
I'm literally, y'all.
Like, when I tell you about the pass out, like,
yes, literally,
it was so bad.
Sweating my foundation off. And I remember telling Bianca, and I think I still got the video on my phone. I'm like, she's recording, and I'm like, and I'm literally like, it's so hot. And so, but that night, I'm like, okay, so it's so packed, y'all. It's literally so many people. I remember being like, it's only one way in and one way out.
It was.
One way in and one way out.
And they didn't want us to crowd the door either. Like, it was that packed. Like, we had to be the entrance. Like, people are literally on the entrance and trying to hang out the entrance because that's how hot it was, but they wasn't allowing this shit.
Right. So I always think back to this. So I'm just like, I'm telling myself in my head, I'm like, it's only one way in and it's only one way out. And at this time, I feel like violence now is a little bit more worse than what it was back then. Yeah, New Orleans has always had violence, but back then it was kind of like, oh, you could go to a party, and you didn't have to really worry about that too much, but you did need to be alert. And I've always been that person where it was like, okay, let me kind of feel out the crowd that's going here, and let me kind of see like what area this is gonna be in. And so I just remember telling myself that night, I'm like, it's only one way in, it's only one way out. I don't really like that, because if anything goes wrong, it's only one way in, one way out. It's literally like we're caved in. And so I remember us leaving. We left right before it even ended, because I'm just like, it's too hot, it's packed. We were ready to go. We got something to eat, whatever. And so I remember getting home probably like an hour. I was actually stopped by Bianca. I remember getting back by Bianca, and it was like, I get on Twitter, and at the time Twitter was like the popping thing. It was. So I remember being like, seeing people like, the party just got shot up. It's literally like, I just get on Twitter and they're like, the party got shot up. And I'm telling Bianca, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so happy we left just in time, because they saying the party got shot up. Like, they started shooting. And so I didn't know that it was Zach that night. I guess people started, figuring it out, whatever. Like, oh my God, he got shot. And mind you, he was an innocent bystander. Like,
yes.
literally, people started shooting at each other, and he was just outside, and he happened to catch a bullet, and he didn't make it.
And I thought, and if I remember, like, I think that's when he had just showed up.
Yeah, he just showed up. He didn't even walk inside the party.
Yeah, he didn't.
Him and Bucci.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even walk inside the party. And so it was just kind of like, I didn't find out till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, people, like, the person I was dating at the time, he kept blowing my phone up, and I'm like, why is he calling me? I woke up probably at like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, why did he call me at 3, 4 in the morning? Mm-hmm. He was calling me to tell me that it was Zach that passed away.
Yeah.
And I found out because I got on Twitter, and I just started seeing rest in peace Zach, and I'm like, what Zach y'all talking about?
Right.
And so then I was just like, then it clicked, and I'm just like, And so, like, girl, I remember that morning, I'm just like, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, I did not feel right at that party. I did not feel right how it was only, like, literally one way in, one way out, and it was literally, like, just people on top of people. Like, I did not, like, I was just like, okay, I had this gut feeling for a reason, and that's why, I was just kind of like, I remember looking at Bianca and like, you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. And so I just want to talk about that because I really don't talk about it much. Like, I lost my friend in the same place that I was at, and he was an innocent bystander. And like, that morning when I woke up, I'm like, that could have been anybody.
Right.
That literally could have been anybody. That bullet wasn't for you, but you just so happen to be at a place where, okay, I'm going out with my friends tonight. All my friends gonna be at this party. Like, and he was so well known in the city. And like, to know him was to know he was such a good person. Like, none of that was like anything he would ever be involved in. Like, so for me, I think that gut feeling now, it kind of transitions into my life now and to this day, because now I'm not as open to just going anywhere. Now I'm kind of like, and my friends will tell you, like, they'll be like, Tree, let's go to Tree House, let's go here, and I'm like, I don't know about that. And I don't, I don't really tell y'all that because it's just like, it's something that I still deal with in my mind. Like, okay, like, now I can't just, then it was like, okay, we gonna go to this party, we gonna go here, we gonna go there, like, but now it's like, I know I can't be everywhere, or it's kind of like a trigger for me because it's just like, all right, when my friend went to this party, he thought he was going to have, the time of his life, he was going to go home, whatever, and he didn't make it home.
Right.
So what are the chances I go and I think I'm about to have fun, and I'm just an innocent bystander and I don't make it home? So for me, it's kind of like that gut feeling and my intuition that night. Yeah, I'm thankful that I left, but now it's a trigger in my everyday life because I don't go everywhere. I don't want to be where the whole city is at. And now I look at it as like, okay, now I'm even more skeptical because of that situation and because it hit me so close to home because I lost my friend.
Right.
And I could lose any of that situation. Opened my eyes where like, you just can't be everywhere.
Yeah, you can't be everywhere. And same for me. Like, I've literally been to Treehouse twice, and that was like over time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't even like to go out because, first of all, like you said, I don't like to be where everybody is. I don't like to be just everywhere, like every weekend, doing this, doing that. Like, I would rather go get me a little brunch or give me some pho. You know what I'm saying? And then, go by my business or go to a hookah bar, something that's real chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then again, like, I don't even do that every weekend. I'm at home majority of the time. And, when I do go out, you have to be aware of those things are on the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? You have to look over your shoulder. You have to do these things. Like, you have to be aware. Like, awareness is key. You know what I'm saying? You can't just relax and let your shoulders down all the time. No, it's like, it's sad. It's sad to say, but you have to be on guard at all times, especially for us females. you know, in the city of New Orleans, like it's getting different. It's getting really hectic out here, and we need to be careful.
Right.
We definitely need to be careful.
So now, like, I actually just watched this past week. It was Angela Yee's lip service, but she had G Herbo. It's like an old episode. She had G Herbo on there, and he was talking about PTSD and stuff like that. And he talked about how he witnessed a murder at like really, really young, and I think like he was less than 10 years old, and he started to realize how like certain things were like PTSD for him, or like certain things were like triggers for him. And that was the first time I ever realized that I had a trigger. I actually recently it kind of like confirmed that that's a trigger for me, like not going everywhere and just like kind of limiting myself. And it's not to say I don't have fun, because my friends know when I have fun, I'm having fun.
Right.
But it's kind of like, I forgot how old I was when at that time of the party. I had to be like 19, 20. Maybe, because like 19, maybe 20ish, 21.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but now I'm more like, okay, like I said, the violence now is more like it's out of control.
Yeah.
It's literally out of control. You can't. And for me now, it's like, all right, now I have to think about the factors of, all right, I'm getting these gut feelings of like, I don't really want to go here. I don't feel comfortable going here. And I'm trusting my intuition, but I'm also thinking about all the what ifs. So my trigger mind is coming into play, because it's like, all right, I lost my friend this way. All right, they're breaking into cars. People are getting robbed. So it's like, now I have more things to worry about.
Yeah.
It's not like where, okay, I'm going to this party and now I don't feel safe, or I don't know if I'm gonna make it home. But now it's other factors that we have to think about, like, okay, am I gonna come back and my window gonna be broken into? Am I gonna come back and like on my way to my car, am I gonna like, is somebody gonna try to rob me? Right. So it's just like, it's other things that go with it now, opposed to when we were younger, and it was just like, okay, now it was just violence. Then now it's like people are getting robbed, or you know, people's cars are getting stolen. Like, it's all type of things that you have to worry about now.
Yeah,
which
a lot.
It really is. So like, that was the main thing that like and I think I was so young at that time. I'm like, okay, I got this gut feeling, but I didn't really know. Or like, I'm thankful that I trusted it, but I didn't really know what a gut feeling was at that time, or what my intuition was, or stuff like that. Because I feel like, you know, it kind of gets overlooked. You get these feelings of like, and let me like revert this back, like, because I'm sure, ladies, if you're watching, our intuition is strong. If you've ever dated somebody and you felt like they were doing something on you, 9.5 times out of 10.
Not 9.5.
9.5 times out of 10, they were doing it. And
not 9.5. I'm gonna give it a 7.
You gonna give it a 7?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7, a 6.5 or a 7. Cause it don't. Females, we could be, you know, doing the most sometimes.
I mean, yeah,
so
but
that's why I give
like,
it a 6.5 or 7.
I feel like if you get a feeling, if I get a feeling that you're doing something, or like, cause me, I notice every little thing. I notice when you text me different. I notice when your tone change. I notice when you're not on schedule with me, not on routine with me. Like, I'm literally like, and I won't even say anything. I just posted something like this morning. I'm like, because I'm so observant, but I ain't gonna be like, well, why did you? I'm gonna take mental note, and then when I'm coming with my report of, all right, at 9:55, you texted me late. You was already up on Instagram. You didn't call me at 3 o'clock like you usually call me. So I'm coming with a report. So I'm not about to sit here and nag. No, because if my intuition is telling me something, I feel like something is up, and I feel like. And 9 times out of 10, I've been right, or like you definitely proved me right, and like, okay, like you was doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, or there was somebody in a picture that you claimed that wasn't in the picture. So I feel like I mean I get what she's saying, you know. She reasoning. Me, I've been through too much to be like, and I've ignored my and you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I've ignored my intuition. I'll be like, no, they're not doing that. No, I don't think that they're not gonna do me like that. And you did me like that. So for me, it's like a 9.5 out of 10. I'm giving y'all a 5.
I'm just trying to be realistic for the average. You know, a 7. I would say like a 7.
A 7?
A 7.
So was there any time like in your life that you feel like, let's just talk friendship wise, relationship wise, because it could be like, all right, you felt like a friend was jealous and you got this gut feeling or intuition they was in competition with you, because that is definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or like relationship wise, you felt like there was somebody else in the picture and you couldn't just really pinpoint it, but you had a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And there really was somebody in the picture. So have you ever had any of those like?
Friendship wise, not really. I never felt that, and you know, I never noticed until, you know, somebody would just stop talking to me, like literally randomly out the blue, just stop talking to me.
That's weird.
So that's weird.
That's weird.
And I've had a couple of those, but during the friendship, it was never nothing like, oh, like this gut feeling, oh, she hating on me, you know, or there was any like side comments that made me feel like, oh, like why she said that. Like, no, it was nothing ever like that. In my friendships, in relationships, I would say in a couple relationships, you know, you tell yourself, you know, like, you shouldn't deal with this person. That was the kind of gut feeling I have. I shouldn't deal with this person, but you know.
Well, I've had one of those.
Yeah, but I dealt with the person anyway. I dealt with the person anyway, and then the end result, they stopped talking to me like randomly. So.
Weird.
So yeah, that was
weird again.
Right. So in that case, I should have listened to
your
you know,
intuition.
Yeah.
And I think
that feeling. Yeah.
You know, I think we ignore it because we want to see people in a different light so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've ignored it many times, and God probably slapping me in the back of my head with his sandal and being like, "Girl, do you not see what I'm showing you?"
Wait. Why gotta be a sandal? Why gotta be a sandal? Oh my god!
Look, he probably done did it. No, I know he's done it a couple times because he's like literally shown me somebody like verbatim, like, this is who this person is. Do not try to idolize them. Do not try to, like, trust your feeling, that gut feeling, that intuition, whatever you think they're doing, they're doing. And it's come to the light like months later, or like, you know, years later, that this person was doing exactly what that feeling was trying to tell me. But I just ignored it because I wanted to idolize. And I wanted to see this person so badly in a different light. But I've also had those gut feelings of like, not really with my friends, because my friends are very supportive. I probably fell out with a few people, but I would say I felt like in the past some people were like trying to be in competition with me, and once you feel like I never want to have friends that are in competition with me. Like, I want to see you win, and I hope that you want to see me win.
Right.
But I've never had like really gut feelings, because like I said, I try to see the good in everybody. That's my downfall. Even when they show me the bad. But I think I've had gut feelings of like being in spaces with people and they're envious or jealous of me. And like this was like in a recent year, like where I feel like people smile in your face and don't really care for you behind your back. Like and I think that's kind of even hard to pinpoint, but I think I've gotten so in tune with my intuition, and I've done that by like, I think I've ignored it so much in the past. Now when I get a feeling or something comes to my mind, I'm like, it's not coming to my mind for just anything. Or now I don't feel this way when I get around people, like irritated. This is kind of like me trusting my intuition. If I come in your space are you in my space and I feel irritated, agitated, or like just
you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go.
And that's the thing, like, trust your intuition, because years ago I didn't know that. I used to just be like, why I always feel like this when this person around, or why I just be irritated when this person around. But now I feel like I've gotten to a point where it's like, okay, I trust my intuition to know that you don't really care for me. Like,
Right.
you smiling in my face, yes, but you don't really care for me behind closed doors. And that's okay, that's fine. But while you feel that way, don't be around me.
Right.
Don't be around me.
But people only do that and continue to be around you because they want to be in your business.
Yeah.
They want to be in your business, and they want to know what you have going on, and they want to know, you know, your everyday moves. That's why they do that. It's like their aura is negative. Their intentions are negative. They aren't pure. So people do that to just be nosy. And that's why a lot of negative stuff get more attention compared to the good stuff, because people love bad energy. People love when people break up. People love the mess. Like, people love when people fall out with other people, because it's more entertaining
than seeing the good.
Exactly.
Yeah, the good is just like, oh, okay, like, she got married, okay,
right.
Like,
that's that hate.
Yeah,
that's the hate.
Yeah, and I feel like I said, like, I'm saying this because I didn't know years ago. You could tell
Very
me,
green.
Right? You could tell me, okay, like, you're getting these intuition, your intuition trying to tell you something, or your gut is trying to tell you something. But now I be feeling like, okay, like I said, I just got into tune where it's just like, all right, if I feel irritated or I don't feel happy or, you know, well in the space, yeah, I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you because it's just like, I'm feeling this way for a reason. So I think,
but that comes in not even with just strangers. That's friends. That's family. That's
yes.
You know, that's with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're trying to level up, and you know this person is staying stagnant. They want to be in that negative energy. They want to do this. They want to do that. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to be a part of it, because you just gonna drag me down, and I ain't here for it.
Right.
So that goes with friends, family.
Right, because I think we try to put family out the equation too. Right. Because they're family, but no, you can distance yourself from family. I'm definitely a big believer in that. Like, family don't always mean you well either. And I've seen it time and time again. I might not pinpoint it, but I'm just like, you know, family does fall in that circle. And I feel like people try to put their family out the circle because it's blood. But
and they try to accept it more.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, family should be more supportive of you. Family should always back you. Family not going to really talk bad about you or give you that evil eye and stuff like that. And they do.
Right.
They do. And we don't talk about that.
Right.
Because their family, or like you said, a lot of people accept it.
Right.
But me, I ain't going for it. I ain't going for it.
I'm not doing it. Even my mama was like, you know, because I was talking to my brother, it was like a few weeks ago. I forgot what we was talking about, but my mom was like, you know, if people giving you negative energy and that's not where you want to go, then you need to, you know, delete them out your life. And she was like, the same thing for me. Like, if you feel like, you know, I'm not being supportive or I'm negative or, you know, there's certain things in me that you don't like, you know, you have the right to not talk to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad she understands that, because not a lot of people gonna do it. Oh, I'm your mommy. You supposed to talk to me. You supposed to do this. I'm your cousin. You supposed to.
Yeah, right. And that's crazy that your mom is that honest, because I feel like a lot of parents aren't honest with themselves or with their children. Because at one point, like, just getting on to negativity, my mom ain't like this no more, but she used to be so negative. Like, she used to just be so negative, and it used to be so draining to the point where it was just like, I don't really want to tell you what I'm doing, or I don't really want to tell you this, because you're going to find a negative in it. And I actually broke her out. She'll tell you, like, I broke her out that cycle of, like, your negative mind is going to bring you negative things. Like, you don't think that, but the power of the tongue is, like, very powerful. And I used to tell her, like, you're already creating situations that don't exist.
Mhm.
Like, and I always tell her, like, and she always thanks me. She thanks me now. She's like, you know, you're kind of like my teacher, and it's also like a family cycle, because I feel like my grandmother is just so negative, and she's older, so she ain't trying to change.
Yeah.
She ain't trying to change, y'all, and I think I've accepted that she ain't trying to change, but I just kind of tune her out. But yeah, my mom was very negative. My mom was very one of those, like, I ain't never get like a gut feeling or intuition about my mama, because it's my mama, of course, but I used to just be like, I ain't really telling her nothing. I guess my intuition was always like, your mama gonna be negative. Your mama gonna tell you something negative, and it's gonna be something that's not supportive. So like, just don't tell her at all. And I got to a point where I was just kind of like, I ain't telling her this. I'm just gonna do it. Like, you know, and you want your mom's support. You want your parents' support. But at the time, I just felt like, I think my intuition was just kind of like, all right, you already know how she gonna be. You already know what she gonna do, say, or whatever. So just don't say it or tell her nothing. And then eventually she just broke out of that, because I used to just be like, you're worrying for nothing, or you're being so negative for nothing. And she kind of, she would be, at one point she was just like, you don't get it, like, da, 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 da. But I'm just like, no, I get it. I get it. I just think I'm so much calmer and laid back than her, and she's just always been like, I feel like she a Gemini, so they so aggressive. Because my friends that Geminis that's gonna watch this, Jasmine, you too, y'all are aggressive, okay? And opposed to me, I'm so laid back. I'm so like chill. Gemini is coming at you full force, girl. You do not want to fuss with them. You don't want to look. I never.
I'm about to say, you got to explain, because I don't know. I don't know.
So Geminis are like, Kanye is a Gemini. Did you Kanye is a Gemini. Yeah. So you get where I'm going with it. Like, they literally like, and it's their way or the highway. So it's just like, it was always like that with my mom, and I just, you know, at one point that is toxic. So your attitude is toxic. So, you know, my intuition just used to be like, don't tell her nothing, girl. Don't tell her nothing. That's your mama. I know you want her support, but nah, because you ain't gonna get you're not getting the feedback that you want. But now I've definitely taught her that, you know, being peaceful and positive, you know, me, Pisces, peaceful and positive is the way to go, okay? Even in bad situations, that you still have to be positive. You still have to, you know, and I'm all about trusting your gut now and getting in tune with yourself. I actually have like a list of like, because if you're not in tune with yourself, it's kind of hard to trust that gut feeling, because it's like trusting yourself too. That has to do with trusting yourself. Like, do you trust yourself? Right. And a lot of people, I feel like you're either scared of the outcome of what that gut feeling is gonna lead to, or let's just say, for instance, like you, or let's just say I got a friend, right? And I feel like they're jealous of me. And I get these feelings of like, you know, every time I tell you something, you ain't really happy for me. Or if I tell you like, me and my boyfriend are having problems and you always giving me negative feedback. And I'm going to start to feel like, well, when are you going to give me positive feedback? Right. So that goes with trusting yourself too. And like, I think we don't talk about that enough. Like, really trusting your judgment of people and trusting yourself, like that you'll make the right decisions. Because I think we get stuck in that, like, am I, like, you're thinking about this situation and like, is my friend really jealous of me? Does my friend really mean me well? I've known her for so long, like, so is this really a, you know, if I trust myself, I put myself in a position where our friendship might end. And that goes into, like you said, trusting yourself. That goes into friendships. That goes into everything. Because say, for example, you know, you haven't been trusting yourself, and then you got this $1 million business, right? Right. Well, first of all, you got this business. We just gonna say you got this business. And then when it's time for you to make a big ass decision that can make or break your business, you don't trust yourself to make that decision. Because you don't trust your gut, you don't trust your intuition, you don't trust
You don't trust yourself, like you're saying. So it's like, it's going to be hard for you to make that decision and trust that you made, whatever decision you made, that was the right decision for you and your business at that time.
I'm glad you used that as an entrepreneurship example, because that's also a thing. Like when you're going on to new ventures and stuff like that, and you're trying to expand your business and stuff. And we've had people on here that like trusted themselves, and at the time maybe things were going left, and they took that leap of faith, and like it worked out. But that definitely has to do with, I think, and we don't talk about that too much with, you just get a gut feeling, but you don't talk about the aspect of, you gotta trust yourself when you do that. You gotta trust. You gotta fully trust in yourself. Because if you don't, it's like, damn, like stuff gonna be happening to you, and it's just like you're gonna be looking back like, had I trusted myself or trusted this decision, then things would have probably went a little bit better.
It's then when you get into that, it's like missed opportunity, Exactly. Trusting yourself, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, trusting the process, all of that goes into, all aspects. Like I said, relationships, friendship, business. So it's just like, it's definitely important that you trust yourself, because you're not always going to be able to, I'm not always going to be able to have Natalie sit next to me and I'm able to, talk to her about it. Like a lot of decisions that we make in life, we're not always going to be able to talk about it or talk over it with someone else besides ourselves. A lot of times decisions have to be made on the spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, do you trust yourself enough to say, yes, I'm going to take this opportunity at this moment? Because you got 5 minutes to make this decision. You can't go call your mama. You can't call your daddy. You can't call this person, this person, this person. You need to depend on you and God. And, if you got to have a quick you need to have a quick conversation with God. That's really the only person that you need to be talking to anyway. But trust you and trust God, and whatever decision that you make, you need to stand on it. You need to stand on it. You need to trust your decision, and you need to, continue to move forward.
And I actually, I had did a little bit of research just to because like I said, if you would have talked to me about gut feelings and intuition like years ago, like at that party, that's kind of when it clicked, but I still didn't really, I wasn't in tune with like, okay, I'm getting this bad feeling because this person bad for me, or this bad energy around me, and I didn't really know. Like, it wasn't up until like maybe like I kind of tapped into like, okay, who I am, because we sit there and we ask people who we are. Like, who are they when they come onto the show? Well, who is so-and-so? Right. And then at that point in my life, when I'm at this party and I'm getting this gut feeling, I didn't really know who I was. I was just, you asked me who I was, the answer would have been like, I'm Natalie. I'm Natalie. Right. And at this time, I'm like I said, I'm like 2021. But now you ask me who is Natalie, I'm like, okay, she's a giver. She's nurturing. She's compassionate.
Yes. Wait, not to interrupt you, but I'm glad you're saying that, because I watched the Know For Sure podcast, and the last guest that they had on there, they was like, when people say who they are, they say, they name their occupations and they name this and they name that, but they're not naming like, the things that you just said. And they did like a little practice or whatever, and had the guests and had them, and they explain who they are, not what they do.
Not what you do. And I think that's, that goes back into like, I'm never going to push anybody to be like me, but I'm very spiritual. And by spiritual, I mean like, I know who I am. Like, you cannot tell me I'm disloyal, because at the end of the day, I know like I'll literally go to war for all my friends. I'll literally go to war for all my family, because I'm that loyal. So it's just like, for me, it was always like, if you ask me who I am, once I got in tune with who I was, it was like, all right, then those gut feelings started to make sense to me. Then that intuition started to make sense to me because, all right, now you know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, opposed to asking me this when I got that feeling of like, there's only one way in, one way out in that party.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me who I was then, I'd be like, I'm Natalie Lucia. Like, whatever you see on Instagram, that's what I am.
Right.
But now when you ask me, I'm like, okay, Natalie, like I said, Natalie's a giver. Natalie is compassionate. Mm-hmm. Natalie is all these terms. I don't sit here, and when we ask people, you know, they say, you know, that's a hard question.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I haven't watched that episode, but I watched that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to start putting that who are we and those adjectives behind it, because that's really who you are. Mm-hmm. Like, who is Faithe?
What kind of person?
What kind of person?
That's really what somebody is actually. Not in these type of interviews because we're bringing them on to talk about their business. Exactly. So it's like, you know, who are you as an entrepreneur? That's really what we're asking them, you know. But when it comes to someone just like in a relaxed setting and, you know, asking somebody, you know, who are you? Who are you as a person, as in the core? Like, who are you? And that's, you know, when you can really go into, you know, those type of adjectives. You know what I'm saying?
And like I said, I say that because it wasn't until who I knew I was until like I could start really trusting myself. Because I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I always trusted myself. Like I said, I've always seen the good in people. So I've always ignored myself. So once I started to trust myself, I'm like, okay, these triggers that I feel like they're real, it's a real thing. These gut feelings that I'm getting, they're not for nothing. And that's when I started to like, that's where trusting, that's why I said trusting yourself comes into play with what we're talking about. Because then I had to start, okay, I know who I am. Now I'm getting these gut feelings. Now this is the time where I need to trust myself.
Right. Because now it's like we're getting older, you know, serious friendships are happening. You know, business is, you know, that's around this time we're starting to get businesses really started. And it's just like we're saying, like, all this trusting yourself, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, this ties into so many things. And now that we're older, we're getting older, it's really important. You can't be willy-nilly with a lot of things. You literally have to think a lot of things out and trust yourself and go off of those gut feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I definitely agree. Yeah. And even it goes back to what we're doing right now with our podcast, like,
we are trusting ourselves.
We're trusting ourselves.
We are trusting ourselves.
You know,
ourselves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're trusting ourselves. We trusted ourselves with starting this podcast. We could have been like, oh, well, we don't know how this is gonna go, but we came into it with a positive mindset. Like, okay, you know a lot of people. I know a lot of people. We could get people to watch. We could get like, you know, we could get followers. We could get views. It's not gonna be a flop.
Right.
And it hasn't. So that goes into with like trusting ourselves and trusting our intuition, because like from Jumpstart, we were so excited about this podcast. Yeah. Like literally there was nothing negative, like, oh my God, where are we going? You know, we're thankful for Jeff. We're thankful for like the time and the money we even put behind it. And we're thankful for the people that agreed to come sit with us.
Right.
So everything beforehand, our intuition was like, okay, do it.
Right.
It was never like, well, you don't have a place yet. And it's crazy because once you trust your intuition, things start to fall into place. Because if we're being transparent with the people, we never talked about where we were going to do the podcast. We were just like, okay, we're going to get the equipment, we're going to get the camera. The camera was the first thing.
Yeah.
The camera was the first thing. We got that or whatever. Then we started looking at like microphones and stuff like that. But we never talked about, okay, well, where are we gonna shoot it at? And I think our intuition was so like, go for it. Like, go for it. Don't really think about the what ifs. Don't think about, oh, well, you don't have this. Don't think about the stuff that you don't have. Right. Okay? just do what you need to do. And I think our minds were both set on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like literally green light. There was no yellow light. There was no red light for us. But when now that I'm sitting down reflecting about it, we didn't even have a place to record this. And it's crazy how God works, because that was us just trusting ourselves. And we trusted ourselves, and then of course Jeff and Faith worked together, and Faith asked Jeff, and Jeff has been letting us use his studio. Which,
like, well,
but we didn't think about any of that.
Right.
And I think even with trusting yourself in entrepreneurship, it's just like, don't think about what if nobody watches this, or what if like I don't get the views that I want, or what if like something goes wrong.
Right.
Just
something always gonna go wrong. Yo.
We done already had some little mishaps.
Yes, we done lost footage. Sometimes I be forgetting to press record on the freaking thing. It happens. But yes,
like, I'm saying all this to say, like, even to go back into entrepreneurship, because that's what we're doing and that's what we bring people on here for. Like, trust your gut, trust your intuition, because our gut feeling about this, we just jumped right into it. We sat down, we talked, and we only had one meeting about this. Like, if you watch the first episode and how we came about this was one time. It was never like, oh well, Faith, I don't know about this, or Natalie, I don't know. We literally saw green and we went, like, green light, and we did everything, and there was nothing. There was no bad feeling, no bad gut feeling. I was just like, okay, like, this gonna be a good business partner. I know she about her business. Like, she's a lot like me. Like, we're both. Our aura and like how we are, our vibe, it's gonna click. So it was never like, oh, I got a bad feeling about this, oh, I don't know if I want to go into business with her, or none of that. So I'm saying all this, like I said, to say, like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to jumpstart something, trust yourself.
And you don't always have to have everything in place. Like she's saying, like, we were so worried about everything else, we didn't even remember to try to find a place to do it. So it's like not having everything. Like, you don't have to, if you want to be like a realtor or something, you don't have to know everything. Just go ahead and do it. You're going to learn along the process. And there's a lot of things that we learn on the process and that we're going to continue to learn. Okay, you want to start photography. Okay, get your cell phone or whatever. You don't have a camera right now, but okay, just jump into it. So you don't have to know everything, and that goes back around trusting yourself and trusting the vision that you have set in place. So it's just a go. Like she said, we had that one meeting and it was on go from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you definitely have to trust yourself. You definitely don't have to know everything, because you're never going to stop learning. The more we grow, the more we learn. So it's like, just do it.
Right.
Just do it.
And not all gut feelings are bad feelings.
Right.
I want to say that too.
And not all gut feelings are good feelings as well.
Yeah. So
vice versa.
So, like, you just gotta be able to trust yourself that, like, okay, this is a good feeling, or okay, this ain't right. This don't sit right with my spirit. And then you take it from there. But I'm just saying, like I said, I'm just using our situation as an example, because, like, we literally did this. We got our camera, we got our microphones, and I don't think we even thought that we didn't have a place to record.
Yeah.
So, but it was always like a good feeling about Faith, a good feeling about this podcast, and we trusted ourselves, and we've been doing pretty good. To say we just started. How long we just started ago? Like May?
2 months ago.
Yeah. So we've been doing really good.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, trust those gut feelings. Trust your, like, be in tune with your spirit and who you are. And I don't like to push spirituality on anybody, because, like I said, I'm my own person. But once you start to, I'm gonna just say this: once you start to learn who you are, you learn that, okay, your gut feelings, you learn your intuition and stuff like that. So if you don't know right now, that's fine. Like I said, I didn't know years ago. I didn't know. You could not even, what? Like, huh?
Right.
Gut feeling? I don't know. I get these feelings, but I don't trust myself right now. And that's okay. Like, you know, it's okay not to trust yourself, but I just want to say, you know, if you don't trust yourself, like, challenge yourself to trust yourself, because
just do it. Don't doubt yourself. And trusting is not doubting yourself. That's really all it is. Trusting yourself is not doubting the decision that you've made, whether it's good or bad. You know, you trust yourself and you're not doubting the decision that you made.
And at the end of the day, you want to be able to trust yourself before you could trust anybody else.
Correct.
You definitely, you know, don't be just trusting anybody. Trust yourself, trust your better judgment, trust your intuition, like we saying, trust them gut feelings, because all that comes into play, into life, you know, like.
How you going to trust everybody? You don't trust yourself, but then you expect other people to trust you.
Exactly.
And you don't even trust yourself, like I said.
Exactly. But like we're telling y'all, we just trying to I actually chose this because I'm just like, I don't even know why I chose this. Maybe because I was listening to that podcast with G Herbo, and it was like, it was about PTSD, but it was also like about trusting yourself and trusting your intuition. And we don't talk about how hard that is sometimes, or how you don't know what those feelings are, because you ain't really looking at that aspect of your life, because you don't trust yourself. You know, like you're out here trusting everybody else, but you're not trusting the person that really matters. Because we always talk about self-care and being self-aware, but that all goes in hand with being able to trust yourself. So that's really why I chose this topic, y'all, because I'm just like, I just want people to be aware of your intuition, your gut feelings, you know, remove that bad energy, remove those friends that don't support you, remove those family members that send you the evil eye. That's okay. Like, it's our right to eliminate people. Like, and I think we don't talk about all these factors that go in hand with the people that you keep around you, the energy that surrounds you. And I'm big on energy and the people that I keep around me. So, and that had to do with, you know, a lot of people that are here now, or were with me like years ago, they're not here now, because I had to trust myself. I had to trust my better judgment. I had to trust my intuition. So I think we need to get in tune a little bit more with that, because we keep these people around us that don't really mean us well. We keep these people around us that do stuff behind our back and are shady or just not good people. And then, you know, and let's just say, let me bring this back into entrepreneurship. You're trying to build this empire. You can't build nothing when you have people that are basically throwing rocks, literally throwing rocks at your empire, or like literally like throwing bricks or whatever to knock your empire down. So keeping the right people around you and trusting your gut and trusting your instinct, like, that plays a big part. It does. It does.
Right. So y'all, we about to get into these chords.
Yes.
We about to get into these chords. Ladies night. Let's talk.
Okay. We'll pull two.
Cool. Just pull these two.
Got us three.
Oh. Pull these two. Put that on it.
All right. What do you like most about me as a friend? Explain.
What do I like most about you? I like that you keep it real with situations, you know, that I have. Of course, we friends, y'all. So stuff that I have brought to you and you keep it real. I like that we're able to keep it real with each other. You know, it's not really no beating around the bush. What else? I like that, you know, basically, like, we are alike. Like, you know, we don't have to, you know, we don't have to do the most to try to get attention. We're very chill. We don't be out in the city all like that. Like, you know, like, we're loyal people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like the most about. I can't say the most because I named a couple things, but that's what I like about you as a friend.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, girl.
Okay, so what do I like the most about you as a friend? I literally could come to you about anything, and there's no judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you're sometimes you got those friends where it's like, I don't know if I can tell her this, or she's not the friend I can tell this to. You're not that friend for me. I could come to you. I've confided in you, and you're literally always there to, like, you'll give me feedback, whether it's something that, okay, maybe you don't agree with me, or maybe you do agree with me, but I can receive it because you're not like one of those friends like, girl, why'd you do that? Or you just kind of like, it's the way you give feedback is it's how I would want a friend to give me feedback. It's very like, okay, non-judgmental, honest, and stuff like that. And that's what I really, really, really like love about you. So
who said you could read the second card?
Oh, girl, I was just about to say, okay, from sentimental to like rated R, but it's not rated R, but you know, it says from 1 to 10, how would you rate your twerking skills? If over a 5, show me.
Woof. Y'all, I do not have the right attire on right now, and y'all not about to see me twerk. This is not that type of podcast.
You want to pick another one?
Yes.
All right, don't pick the last 2.
Okay.
Because I put them at the bottom.
I'm gonna read the goddamn card. If you had one free pass at any celebrity, who would you use it on and why?
Girl, none. None. Because look, my boyfriend just said, you got a celebrity crush? I'm like, no. No. So he don't play that celebrity crush. He is my
right, because they still human.
Yeah, he's my so I would just say him. I would say, you know, he does rap. So I would say, yeah, you know, he's not a celebrity though, but I just say yeah. Cause look, I really never been that type of girl to be like fangirling over anybody, to be honest. Cause I'm just like, So no. So no for me. What about you?
I don't want to get a pass, but I do. I'm not gonna say he a crush, but I really like Chris Brown, and my boyfriend hates that. And he be like, go be with that nigga then. I'm not gonna be with him. I really like respect Chris Brown. Like I respect what he do, and I want to be his backup dancer. I be trying to do the hip hop and shit.
Yeah. I knew she was gonna say that.
That's what I be trying to do. But if I had a free pass to do, you know, that's what it's talking about, I wouldn't do it. But
I would. I mean, if I had a free, let me just alternate mine. If I had a free pass to like sit down with somebody, like because we've talked about with like we kind of had a question like that, but I would if I could have, you know, they have that it was kind of like a question going on Instagram. Would you take $150 or like dinner with Jay-Z? I would ask for a free pass. No, like, but in this situation,
I'm taking the money.
I want a free pass. It has to be a male. I would want to sit down with like Jay-Z and like just talk about business, like how he started Rock Nation, like obstacles and stuff like that. But a free pass to like sleep with somebody, yeah, no, I'm not playing that.
Because it's still, at the end of the day, it's still gonna be cheating. It's still gonna be those things. You're not gonna have a free pass in real life.
Right.
You're not gonna have a free pass in real life just because this person is a celebrity. No. If you have a boyfriend and you had sex with another celebrity, or if you have a girlfriend and you having sex with a celebrity, it's still cheating. Don't matter what it is.
It is. And me and my boyfriend just talked about this because I was telling him about like you know, rappers that's been in my DMs. And it was just kind of a talk because when we first started dating, there was rappers that I turned down. And I had told him this, you know, like, because he brought up some rapper or whatever, and like there was like just rappers I just wasn't interested in. And I was like, you know, that don't move me because at the end it don't move certain people, because at the end of the day, real genuine love and loyalty is only in certain people.
Right, because I really don't give a shit. Like I don't care if you like. I don't.
Yeah, no.
I don't. And even if you a typical like, and let's just bring it back to reality. Like, if you just a typical dude, and you, because I know I've been seeing like on TikTok and stuff like that, like they be doing pranks on these females, and the dudes be walking up to them and just talking to them, and they be like, you know, hey, can I try to talk to you? And the girls be like just brushing them off. But then he'll walk to the car, and it'll be like a Lamborghini or
yeah, and then
the doors be fall.
Then they
like,
change. Oh yeah,
they be like, oh wait, hold up. No, that shit don't impress me. You got a nice car. Oh, that's a nice car, and I'm going about my day. Like that's not about to. You know what I'm saying?
It's not gonna move.
Yeah, that's not gonna move.
And that's the talk that we had. I was just like, you know, I think a lot of people in this day and age with social media, your head get big and you see these blue checks, and you're ready to ruin literally everything for what you have at home.
Right.
And nine times out of 10, it's really not worth it.
Them people don't give a shit about you.
They don't.
So you like she said, you're doing all of that because you are gonna be bucked up to say that you mess with this celebrity, but they don't even know you. After that, they barely even gonna remember you. Like, they encounter so many people, like they're not excited about that.
There is definitely true. Not to hurt anybody's feelings. If you're watching this,
if your feelings hurt, I really don't care.
If you know, because you know, some people get moved by that, but if you know, if that's what moves you, then that to each his own. But the lady sitting here on this couch,
on this couch,
it don't.
Yeah, so I really don't care.
So yeah, y'all, we're finishing up episode 9. We have episode 10 coming up, and we do have a special guest on that episode. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I hope that somebody watched this and, you know, you decide to trust yourself if you don't, or you start to like really get in tune with those feelings that you feel, because those are your gut feelings and your intuition. And I hope that y'all do take away something from this, and, you know, it's very like inspirational to somebody.
Yeah, definitely. Please, y'all, give us a rate, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a subscribe.
Yes, please.
A subscribe.
Make sure y'all
thumbs up.
Comment, like, and subscribe.
And rate if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or, you know, just listening to the audio. Yeah, y'all. So we wrapping this up.
Sister, plug in your info.
Your Faithful Realtor on Instagram and TikTok.
And I'm Natalie Lucia _ on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, y'all.
We is out of here.
We're out. Bye.